Well, good afternoon, family. I'm glad to be here all the way up from Newburgh, Maryland, which is the southern portion of Maryland. I'm Charles Lollar, and I'm running in the 5th Congressional District against Steny Hoyer. Now, some of you all don't know whether to cry, laugh, or clap. That's why you kind of stayed silent. But let me, in a very firm way, from my heart to yours, let you know that this Marine will beat Steny Hoyer when he declares on the 7th to run against this gentleman. We have no doubt in our mind. We have the wind in our backs. We have the right policies, and we're going to make you proud down there in Maryland. You know, before I get started with my brief remarks, I've been watching Lewis, and this is just how brief my remarks are. They kind of fit on this little page. I've been watching Lewis. I had 3 pages when I walked in here, but I noticed how he stood and did just a lot, and I took that 3 pages and put it in 3 bullet points on this little tiny page. I want to thank the governor. Can I say that you all are in a very good position in this state? You've got solid leadership. Can I say that? Can I also say that? Can I also say I thank you, Governor, for welcoming us here. And he didn't say but 2 things that helped me to realize just how solid of a man he is. The first was the fact that he's been married over 40 years. That to me is outstanding. And he acknowledges his beautiful wife. The second thing is that he's the father of 4 children. Absolutely. That means he's extremely patient and talented. I have one question, though, Governor. Girls, boys, or both?
1 boy, 3 girls.
What, give him a hand. 3 girls, 1 boy. I am the father of 4 girls, so just keep me in your prayers. Let me also thank Lewis Pope and Jody. They did such a great job. Haven't they done a great job with putting this together? Lewis, you're slowly but surely becoming my mentor. I love what you do and your poise. I've seen you under fire before this body. I want to thank you for everything that you've done for us here, also in the state of Maryland. Now, they say that imitation is the greatest form of flattery, so I want to imitate one of my true leaders in our state, and that's Joyce Terry's, and say this. Is anybody proud to be conservative and Republican anymore? I'm absolutely proud to be Republican. I'm absolutely proud to be conservative. And believe me when I tell you, from the parts where I come from, that's not easy to admit. But I've been doing that for a while. In fact, I helped to convert my father from the Democratic Party to now he is a recovering independent. Pretty soon he'll be Republican. We're working hard on that. There were some stats that were put up here on the board. You know, we talk about what it means to be conservative and all the hot button issues, the role of government, taxation, where we need to go from here, things we need to look at, and all these things I absolutely agree with. I don't want to stand up and sell you on why we need to beat Steny Hoyer because, quite frankly, you know why we need to beat Steny Hoyer. But I do want to bring a couple of issues, at least 3 bullet points, in terms of my world in the conservative Republican field and things that I believe that we can do quickly and should do quickly if we're going to do some fantastic things in 2010, but also in 2012. You know, I looked at the slideshow like many of you did, and one thing I want to just, again, this is the world according to Charles Lollar, is offer this to you, that we weren't popular, but our policies have always been popular. And they are popular, but their policies are not. So the only way they can manage to beat us is by using our policies with their popularity. 50+1% of Americans believe in our policies. Our biggest problem is how we deliver them, how we posture them, how we express them, explain them, and sometimes even how we one-on-one these policies and issues. And I believe that when I look at our party and the direction our party's going, I'm extremely excited about the opportunity. There's no question the winds are at your gentleman's back and anyone else in here that's running for office, but if we don't change how we articulate those issues so they're more marketable, we're going to find ourselves in the same predicament that we found ourselves in 2008. Make no bones about it. The current administration has captured the market on how to twist words, take our policies, phrase them as if they're his own and his own parties, and then turn around and do the exact opposite. And he continues to do it. And instead of being what I call the parental, all-knowing, confident party that we should be, we kind of get in the sandbox with them and start throwing the same mud pies that they throw at our party, which makes us extremely unpopular. Republicans have got to stand up, Sharon, and realize one thing, that because we are conservatives and because we are Republicans, the American population expects more from us than they do any other party in our country. We've been talking about values and morals for so long that, John, they're going to continue to expect the best out of us. And when we fall down to the level of our counterparts on the other side, we're going to get twice the criticisms, voted out faster, and the confidence will go that much quicker. Three things I'd like to suggest to you. Number one, it's time for us to posture as winners. Walk like winners. Talk like winners. You know, please don't clap much because Lewis will be doing this in a second. And then I've got to sit down. And I got 2 more points I want to make. You know, I watched my father raise me, and there's some stupid things and ideas, like many of you had, well, maybe all of you all were smart. But there were some incredibly stupid ideas that I had growing up. But my father was always middle of the road. And he was quick to chastise me when those stupid ideas came up. And there were some parts in my lifetime growing up, I thought my dad wasn't as smart as me. And then as I got a little older, I had to move out and pay my own bills. I ended up going back home crying to my father, apologizing profusely for everything I'd done to him in the past. Especially after I had my second daughter. Some of you only did that on the way home. The moral of that short story is that when you are a parent, you understand that your child is going to go through stages. And so are people in our country. Listen, folks, we have the answer. We don't have to apologize for being right. We just have to phrase why we're right so that those that don't understand it can understand it, and slowly but surely they'll come to our side. You can't help a young teenage, college young lady or young man from being liberal. Everybody's equal and no one should work, and the government should help everybody they can. After all, they're being provided for by parents as they go to college with nothing coming out of their pocket. So of course, their world's a little bit different than ours have to make a mortgage payment. But instead of acting like a teenager with them, we need to carry ourselves with the posture of a winner. We know we have the right answer, with no excuses, no blames, no apologies, and no assumptions. Yeah. You know, most immigrants, when they come to our country, they don't come to work for the government. They come for an opportunity. They want to start businesses in their community. They have the same conservative background that many of us have. So we know that eventually, once they become legal, which they should as immigrants, and they start working in the same America that we work in, they're going to be tax-paying citizens, and they're not going to want a lot of taxes taken out of their checks. So we know far and beyond that we have the answer. We have to walk like it. Number two, unified base. 80-20. We have to learn when the microphones are on that the majority of Americans believe with us on 80% of our principles. And those 20% of our principles, we have to be wise in and be more solutions-based. I call it being more Reagan than rhetoric. What I like the most about our president in the 80s, Ronald Reagan, is he had a way of talking to folks about the economics and the things that matter. And when social issues confronted him, instead of taking out another mud ball and throwing it back, he said things like, and some of you all remember this, it's amazing that the biggest proponents of abortion are those who are already born. Isn't that simple and not or my personal favorite, the problem with socialism is that eventually you run out of other people's money. Little things like this can make a huge difference in our message.